Okay, so I post suggestions in the forums on a regular basis, almost every week, and a lot of them have been added to the game. And this guy made this post, and it says, "Floored Cheap made a good suggestion." This is insulting. It was about daily missions, weekly, and then monthly. And the point I was making, we'll get to it later, but I've made a lot of suggestions that are huge. So I made this post saying, you have daily missions. Doesn't it make sense if you complete all your daily missions, you get a weekly mission, and if you complete those, you get a monthly mission? That was basically what it was. So I posted, I've made a lot of suggestions that have made it to the game. Tour of Duty, using sectors for large maps, which became Frontline. The monthly news, how they say this is what's coming this month, and all the premium tanks and the weekly events. That was my idea. The missions tab, the Northwest map, marathon missions were my idea, rental tanks, some of the April Fool's events, progressive decals for mastery badges, and there were more. Platoon search, the damage indicators. You know how when you get hit, it says you took 400 damage from this direction, and you can make it wide if you took more damage? That was my idea. The fading distance, map Mondays, some of the decals, such as the baby on board, the 25 times zoom was my idea. There were others. The distance indicator fading. I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but that was one of my ideas. So there were other ideas I had, and we're going to go through these. Tour of Duty. This one was something I suggested, I don't know, around November. I said, why don't you do something for clans, where if you're a member of a clan, you can work on some sort of a mission as a clan, like a clan mission. You get your individual progress, and you get the clan progress, and you win prizes. And it doesn't have to be big prizes, just anything. People are going to like that. And make some sort of recruitment video. I asked them to do it once a month, telling people the benefits of joining a clan. They made that video. Using sectors for large maps. They wanted to do the grand battle format, and they made this video saying that they hired an outside company to help them develop grand battles. And I posted and I said, grand battles is the wrong way to do it. Most people think you just make the map bigger. Wrong. The reason why is because there are technical limitations. The way you have to do it is you have to divide the map into sectors or quadrants. In the case of Frontline, there's 9 sectors, A, B, C, D, E, F, and the 3 objectives. And you divide the sectors by mountains so you can't see what's in the next sector. When you're playing, they don't load in the whole Frontline map. They only load in the section of the map you're in. When you go into the next sector, they load that map in. And that's why it's better than Grand Battle, because you can make Frontline huge. You can make it 1,000 sectors. So that was my idea. I posted in the forums, and they added it rather quickly. And I was one of the sandbox testers, and you could see that it would stutter when you would go from one sector to another. The monthly what's coming. I'm going to tell you the story about this. They used to post on Thursday. They would post, this weekend, 3 times victory, get a premium tank, and whatever, discounts. So I logged in on Monday, and I said, I wanted to buy that premium tank, and I don't log in every day, and it was announced on Thursday, and I wasn't the type of guy who was only playing on weekends. I work from home, so to me, every day is a weekend. So I said, why don't you, at the beginning of every month, publish, like, here's what's going to happen this month. All the premium tanks, all the weekend bonuses, etc. They started doing it immediately the following month. Almost all of my suggestions, they implemented it immediately. The missions tab, they used to have platoon missions. So what would happen is everybody in game would be asking for platoons, and people didn't understand why. And we were like, no, take the platoon mission. You win prizes just because we're in a platoon. And everybody was said, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. And I said to Wargaming, nobody knows about these missions. Why don't you make something in the garage, like a little notice or something that says, hey, we have missions? And that's when they added the missions tab into the garage. And you know it, you've been using it for years. The Northwest map. Back then, many years ago, um, the Tier 6 could play against Tier 10. Even Tier 1 could play Tier 10 because you could platoon with a Tier 1 and a Tier 10, so there was a wide spread. And I said, you know what? Why don't you make a map that evens it out? And I said, how do you even it out? And I realized, the tanks have two weaknesses. The super heavy tanks cannot climb steep inclines, and the roof armor is weak. So I was like, okay, so it makes sense you want to snipe down on them, and you want to make it difficult for them to climb to the top, but not just a hill. And I thought about, how do you do this? Do you have one guy at the top of a cliff and a guy at the bottom of a cliff? Do you make it like a circle? Do you make it with a lake, a canyon? And I realized a quarry was the way to do it. You have the bottom of the quarry where if they want to come up, they have to go through the levels of the quarry to get up to the top. And the light tanks just go up at the top. And what was happening is it worked like a charm. The light tanks would go to the top of the quarry and they would go and fight. And when they were done, never fought a heavy tank. And by the time they got to the bottom, usually the heavy tanks were still fighting, so you would just drop behind them and finish them off. Whoever won with the light tanks usually won the game. And that's exactly what they did, was the quarry tank design, which became the Northwest map. Unfortunately, they did pull it from the game. Okay, so the second half I'm going to put in another episode of Daily Commentary.